Hello and welcome to Metal Vice, the podcast where we talk about all things music.
Well, the things we care about.
That's right, which is mainly metal music and live music. I'm your host, Brian, joined by the other host,
Karen.
And this is our third episode trying out this new format thing. Not sure how it's going just yet. It's only our third episode, but we are tweaking it already. Again, third time changing it. Last time I think we added like the Cemetery Gates segment because Bob Weir passed away. Nobody in the Cemetery Gates this segment this week. I'm stumbling my words there, but any case, what we're going to do this time is we're going to shift everything up ahead of the main topic. So last time we did a couple of segments before the main topic of the show, and then we did the main topic of the show, which was Corey Taylor's book. And then we went into like new music and the concert calendar. This time we're going to do all of that afterwards. I guess I lied. We're actually doing the concert calendar as the very last thing after the main topic, which today's episode is about two shows we saw, two sort of shows, Kayo Dot here at Reggies in Chicago, and then a Metal Cares Market thing that we saw out in Woodstock, Illinois.
Yeah.
Very interesting little event. Yes.
2 hours away from Chicagoland.
So we're going to be talking about that at some point. If you are watching this on YouTube as well, we're going to try to put timestamps this time around so you can jump to whatever segment you want. If you want to skip all that news bullshit that we're going to talk about, by all means, skip that and just go straight to the main topic. Cool. We'll try to put timestamps in. I don't know if we can do that on like the actual
like on the podcast.
We'll maybe in the description of it we can like show like, hey, this is what time you want to skip to.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this audio only, we'll try to do that as well. It might not be as good, but we'll give it a shot and just see what happens there. So again, still fucking around with this new format thing. Third time trying it. Let's jump right into it, I guess. Which, we've been trying to start out by asking each other, like, what are we listening to recently?
So what are you listening to, Brian?
So it's only been a couple days since we recorded the last one.
It feels weird.
It's Sunday here in Chicago when we're recording this. We have the Bears game coming up here in a couple hours that we're going to end up watching, or I'm going to watch. You don't give a shit about the sports balls. But all that to say, like, it's only been a couple days since we recorded. I haven't listened to a whole lot. I did listen to a lot of the new music that I have listed this time, because that's one criticism you've given me in the past is like, you're not listening to the music. You should listen to it instead of just listing off who's announcing whatnot and whatnot. So I did listen to it this week. So I have that to talk about. But I haven't been listening to a whole lot of music. I've gone down the rabbit hole of Stranger Things. When I'm at work, working, I have music on in the background. Now I've been having Stranger Things on just sort of as a background noise, every now and then looking down to see what's going on. But that's what my focus has been on mostly is Stranger Things, wrapping that up. But next week, I'm probably going to go back into a music cycle and going through some music.
Yeah.
Especially because we are traveling and we're going to be working remote.
Yeah, so we'll be
And I listen to a lot more music when I work remote for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a lot easier. And also we'll be in the car, so we'll be
that too, yeah.
So yeah, I think we'll listen to a lot more things.
Yeah. How about you? What have you been listening to?
So I listened to Of Sulfur, obviously.
Their new album, right?
I did listen to the new album just yesterday because you reminded me that it was released.
Oh, you just listen to them like nonstop.
No, like I normally like just listen to the Of Sulfur like radio or like whatever. But ventured out to like Orbit Culture and Wednesday 13 this week. I shouldn't say ventured out, but
known bands for you.
Yeah, just kind of getting excited for their shows that are coming up. So
yeah, Wednesday 13, we're going to see that show here at the end of January. That will be a fun show. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, just in a couple weeks.
Orbit Culture, we are going to that show as well, aren't we?
Yeah, but that's like May or March.
Somewhere in there. Okay. I forgot about that one already.
But I'm excited for it because that's Of Sulfur and Orbit Culture. It's going to be a really good show.
Oh, yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But no, I need to kind of come up with some different music to listen to as well.
Instead of just getting back in the normal cycle.
Yeah.
That was sort of the point of this, is like force us to try to get into something different. It's worked it a little bit for me, I think. Not as much for you, maybe not.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. Yes. Keep trying it, I guess. Anywho, moving on to our first topic of the evening, our first subject, I guess, or category or whatnot, whatever the fuck we're going to call these things. The headlines for now until we find a better name or something. I still want to find jingles at some point and put those in here in between the segments to sort of denote moving in to the segment.
We're going to be saying that for like 3 years. So.
We will, yes.
Yeah.
So I'll
if
keep
we
that going.
keep this for 3 years. But
a much lighter news cycle these last few days, at least the ones that we picked out to care about and whatnot.
There's a lot of rumor things that happen this week.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about the rumors necessarily.
No, me neither. But that seems to be everything that's going around is rumors.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of rumors like with Metallica at the Sphere, which those are so weird to me. I was thinking about that the other day, how people are like, it's a confirmed thing. Metallica is playing 12 to 18 dates between this month and possibly this month. Like the rumor itself is like definitive that is happening. It's 100% guaranteed, but we don't know anything about it other than it's 100% guaranteed. It's like,
and nobody's making comments.
But you know it's happening.
Yeah.
But you're speculating on the details. Like how do you know it's happening without any of the details type things? Yeah. So it's wishful thinking. I truly do think it's going to happen.
I think it's going to happen too, but everybody just needs to wait for the announcement to happen and stop with this.
They just want somebody to click the article. Yeah. It's a clickbaity article type thing. Yeah. So we do try to stick away from the rumors and just focus on I try to focus on like a headline type thing, like an actual piece of news that we like, that is interesting to us, and also try to stick away from this person said this thing in this interview and let's talk about that type thing. So I've been trying to stay away from those two. Who knows if it's going to happen or not, but quick sort of news cycle. In any case, the first headline, I was rambling there for a bit, is a big one to me that I think is really cool. Bandcamp is saying no to AI art and artists on the website or on their platform.
Art and artists or just artists?
I don't know. Art and artists to me is an overarching term. But they came out basically saying like, we're not going to allow AI generated music to be on our platform. We think the fans, the consumers, the people out there consuming this, I'm repeating myself here, but they think that there needs to be some confidence in the consumers in the platform to be like, the platform is taking a stand. They're not going to allow it. That way you can sort of trust the art that you're being presented with as being genuine by real people, real artists, and not AI, which I think is a great fucking thing. Is.
Yeah.
I know Spotify, we've talked about that a lot, how they're allowing AI on their platform. And a part of me at first was like, whatever, I just won't listen to that. But the issue for me is it's starting to get to the point where I can't tell. And I'm starting to think like, when I hear a new band, my gut reaction now isn't, oh my God, this is an awesome new band. My gut reaction is, fuck, this is a shitty piece of AI. And it's a bad, like, I don't want to be in that situation of being like, oh, I don't like this because it's AI without even knowing anything about it. So then I have to stop and dive into the artist a bit, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's good to get in and understand the artist a little bit more from that perspective. But you don't always have the time to stop and look at every single new artist. Like when you're driving, you shouldn't be picking up your phone to do that. While you're working, you shouldn't be taking a break to necessarily look this up. So I think this is a great move. I think it's awesome. The rationale for, the fans need to feel confident in the platform. I think that's a great thing. So yeah, I'm all on board for this.
Yeah, me too.
The next article we have, or the next headline we have, is that Frontier Label Group launched their new sort of sub-label or something under their overarching umbrella. I've been calling it Blick Blick or Blickety Blick, but you don't think it's what it's called?
Black to Black.
BLK, which I guess Black to Black with, if you're thinking of those I's as Roman numeral I's, that kind of makes sense. It could be a really cool logo, I guess, if they do something like in a death metal-y sort of look with jaggedy edges and whatnot. So I think you're right. I think it is Black to Black, which is also a metal thing, I guess. Black is a big, our color shirts, our shirt colors are
black.
Black. I think mine might be a navy blue or something.
No, it's black.
Is it black? Okay. Yeah. Anywho, black's a good metal color. I just like Blickety Blick a little better personally as a name. It's weird as fuck. It has nothing to do with metal, but whatever.
You could be right, but I'm pretty sure it's Black to Black.
Yeah, it's probably Black to Black. But they also appointed Mike Gitter as their global head of A&R. I do not know what A&R means. I think it means probably like artist retention or something like that.
Yeah, probably.
Like signing new artists. He's like head of the label of signing new artists.
Like signing new, but then also retaining artists that are on the label.
Exactly. Yeah. The ones you want to keep around, making sure they're happy that they're staying on your label, producing for your label. But it's going to be like a metal-focused sub-label. Or, again, I don't know what the fuck to call that. Sub-label makes sense to me. It's a label itself, but you know what I mean.
Metal, hard rock, and extreme music.
Yes.
Yeah, so not necessarily metal.
Right. I think Biohazard's on there. They've announced an album in the past. and Megadeth's new final album, self-titled album, is on that label as well. And by that label, I mean they're on like the Frontier labels. Those have already been announced in the past, but I think they're going to fall under this Black to Black label as well. But Gitter as well, he's got a pretty extensive history in metal itself and in music itself. He's worked for Roadrunner. So like when I saw that, I was like, holy shit, I used to love Roadrunner back in the day. I would go to the website, and that's how I discovered so much metal, is by going to Roadrunner. And I trusted Roadrunner enough to be like, if it's on Roadrunner, I'm going to like it. I'm going to trust it. And they had the Dresden Dolls on that label, which is not metal.
Oh, really?
But I love the Dresden Dolls, which is such a weird differentiation or different sound from like Slipknot and Killswitch Engage. But, here you go. You have the Dresden Dolls on there. So, seeing him in charge of this, knowing he was in Roadrunner, I don't know if that was around the same time I was getting into Roadrunner or not, but having just that label, I trust the label now, and I'm not gonna necessarily trust the label, but as something I'm gonna really, when I see it, I'm gonna have a little bit more trust now. As I get more experience, definitely it might come to that point where it's like, holy shit, you have the Black to Black on your label. That's fucking awesome. I trust you. I'm gonna know it's gonna be good music coming out of you.
Yeah.
But he's worked with other artists like Killswitch Engage, Lorna Shore, Body Count as well, Orbit Culture, and they've got a slate of announcements of terms of like bands that they're going to be working with as well under this label, such as Forbidden, Unto Others, Nunslaughter, and a big one you saw a few days ago was
not a big one, but a big one for us because we've seen them before.
That's why I say a big one. Yes,
yeah. Torture Demon,
yes,
a UK thrash metal young kid band, signed with them. They announced that they signed with them. So
they were the first show we saw outside of the U.S.
Yes,
not including the boat, obviously, because that's technically outside. But yeah, the first time we traveled outside the U.S., we went to a show, and they were the opener for them, and they were fucking awesome. We did a podcast on that episode. So to me, that's why I said a big one. Like, it's like, holy shit, I loved these kids. It was so awesome.
I just hope that now, so we saw them in Ireland, and they said like, oh, we were able to go overseas, or like over the sea. I think they said not overseas, but over the sea to for a show because they're from the UK. And in my mind, I'm like, well, now maybe if they had a label under them, which I don't know, maybe they had a label before. I don't know. But in my mind, I'm like, maybe they can now do a US tour and be able to see them again, because otherwise we're going to have to go to a show in the UK to see them again. Yeah.
And I don't know how much, weight the label has behind touring announcements and putting the tours together, but I could also see it where the label being like, hey, we've got Megadeth going on tour for their final tour, and they're going to be doing that for like 10 fucking years, but they're going to go on tour doing that. Hey, could you guys take this younger kid group with you on our label as well, help the label out, help you out, help them out type thing. So I don't know how that's going to work. That'd be really cool though. Yeah, you're right. If, because they're now on this bigger label, they can get the funds and the exposure to travel across over here to the US. That's what I'm thinking,
because labels want you to be able to sell records. So you got to get your music out there as well. So it's, I know a lot of it's social media now and stuff like that, but it's also, touring's still part of it. So
especially in metal, I think for sure metal. I think other genres, maybe the social media helps a lot more, but it definitely helps for metal as well, I think. But yeah, I think metal just has a touring sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like mindset, or sort of, it's just how metal works. It's how the culture of metal and metal music works, I feel like. I don't know.
I think social media is a big part of it, too.
But. Yeah. The other one I had, and I just wanted to throw it up here, but it's Jane Weinberg parts ways with suicidal tendencies. He cites that he's a first-time father, going to be shortly, as well as creative endeavors coming up that he wants to focus on. But I honestly completely forgot he was in suicidal tendencies. When I think of suicidal tendencies, I just think of Rob's Kid being in there. Yeah,
there's more people in
No, I know that, but for some reason, that's the only, in my head right now, that's the only thing I think of. It's like, oh yeah, that's Rob Sutton's band.
Yeah.
Which, that's also where Rob was in as well. He was in that band too.
Yeah, he was in there, yeah. I too forgot that Jay signed, or was playing drums for them, because there was a big thing, like after Slipknot let him go, and like who was he going to drum with, and he's such a good drummer, and blah blah blah. But I kind of forgot as well.
I know like on like the forums and whatnot, and by the forums I mean on Reddit, when he got let go from Slipknot, there were a lot of people in the forums being like, why the fuck are you doing this? He's so good. You're fucking over the fans who have followed you for a while. He was such a great, not necessarily replacement for Joey, but he filled those shoes so well.
Yeah.
And like there was not necessarily backlash, but there were a lot of people who were upset with him leaving. And yeah, I just, it slipped my mind. I wasn't following him all that closely. Suicidal Tendencies is not really a band that I follow all that closely anyway.
No, yeah, that's true.
If I was a fan of Suicidal Tendencies, then maybe I would know a lot better. Are they gonna be at Milwaukee Metal Fest?
Yeah, they're announced again for Milwaukee Metal Fest.
Okay. Do you know what day? Is it like a headlining slot?
I don't know the days at all. Okay. I don't know headlining. I don't know any of.
You don't? Okay.
I mean, they have announced it. I just haven't taken the time to.
Because it's Killswitch Engage as a headliner and Ministry as a headliner, I think.
Okay.
At Milwaukee Metal Fest. I don't remember who the third headliner for Milwaukee Metal Fest was this year.
Acid Bath, are they one?
Yes, Acid Bath. You're right. Yeah. That's what it was. That was like the big one. Yeah. I think those are the headliners. Yeah. All right, so we just looked up. Suicidal Tendencies is the Saturday, not the headliner, but the slot right after that.
Yeah, they might be the headliner of the second stage.
Yeah, that'd be my guess.
No, they'll be on the main stage. I mean, they were on the main stage last time, so they'll be on the main stage.
Either the second to last headliner, like just before the headliner on the main stage, or the headliner of the second stage for sure. But yeah, I mean, good for him. Congratulations on the kid for Jay. And
sure, if you want to populate the world.
Sure. I mean, whatever. Congratulations.
No,
be a good father. He'll be a good father. I know. Anywho, I'll try to remember his next project when it comes out. To be fair, though, the same thing happened when Joey left Slipknot and he did Vimic and a bunch of other side projects. I completely forgot about Vimic until this last year when they released the album.
Yeah.
So,
but you said that we listened to them back in 2016 or something.
Yeah, I think I did when the album or the singles came out. And I listened to them a couple times, but then again, it's one of those things I never went back to and listened to again.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The last headline, I just saw this, I think this morning scrolling through Reddit, or maybe it was yesterday, but Morrissey has canceled 19% of his planned shows in 2026. I only bring this up because I'm really not a fan of Morrissey. And
who is Morrissey? So
I don't know. He was at Riot Fest. He was at Riot Fest a couple years ago, and he is, I know he's like a vegan, and he made everybody stop selling.
They couldn't sell food when he was playing.
Right.
That was so fucking stupid.
So this guy is a complete fucking douchebag tool, in my opinion.
Right.
So seeing him cancel shows, he's probably just some whiny little bitch, and there's something he's bitching about. I didn't read the article necessarily to figure out why.
But it says that he missed half of it says, since he reportedly missed about half of his planned gigs last year.
Yeah, I think he canceled a bunch of shows last year too. He just seems like a fickle little bitch. And, seeing him not tour, that's a good thing for me, I think.
Well, it just sucks for the fans that bought tickets.
There's that too.
If there's people that are fans of him, I'm sure there are people out there that are fans.
Yeah.
But it's that's what sucks is if somebody, I mean, granted, if there's something going on, that's something different. But if you're just not showing up to shows or just canceling shows, that's...
Or maybe they were selling meat and they wouldn't stop selling meat. Maybe. So he's like, fuck it, I'm not showing up. But yeah.
So this says the St. Louis gig was canceled the day of the show. Fans learned of this via radio or the sudden refreshment of funds in their bank accounts. So Ticketmaster just refunded it.
Yeah. Okay. See,
and then the Dominican Republican gig was announced by Ticketer, citing reasons completely beyond our control. I mean, this is literally me just
skimming through the article real quick.
But it's that's just kind of bullshit I mean, it almost seems like the falling in reverse thing where it's
right.
There was no announcement. They just didn't show up to the show.
Yeah. For the Hogfest one we went to.
The Hogfest, yeah. I don't know, 3 years ago or whatever. Yeah.
I think we did an episode on that too. And we were talking about during that too, there were so many people with Falling in Reverse shirts and they were so excited.
We went to the barbecue place before going to, because it was in Milwaukee, and before going to Fiserv Forum, and people showed up, the entire family had, or the entire group had Falling in Reverse shirts, and they were excited about it and stuff. And then they didn't show up.
Yeah.
So...
It sucks for the fans. It really does. Yeah. I'm not a fan of Morrissey because of the whole Riot Fest, you can't sell meat thing. So just knowing that you're this pretentious, self-centered fuckwit. So I don't know. I saw that, and every time I hear his name, that's the first thing I think of. So I don't know.
I wasn't putting two and two together, like who he was. But once you said that, I remember that whole thing of, and that was 2021 Riot Fest. I remember.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to bitch about it, basically.
Okay.
That's the only reason I threw that one in there.
Okay.
To me, just bitch a little bit. All right, moving on. We have a new segment again. We're switching things up, adding a new segment, and I'm calling this one In the Studios.
Yeah, because I was complaining because you were putting this under headlines where it's like, but it's not no, you're putting it under new music, and I was saying, but it's not new music because it's not released.
Right, and it is a headline too. So like, basically, this section now is, it felt weird putting announcements of a band working on an album or an upcoming album that the band just announced in the headline or in new music, because one, it's not new music as you said, and two, it is a headline, but it's sort of like a weird thing. There's a bunch of them sometimes. So anywho, I figured In the Studio would be the catch-all for bands who have announced a brand new album coming out or have announced, hey, we're going to go into the studio and work on our next album type thing. Yeah. So not a whole lot of information here necessarily in each one of these. It's just more of me going through a list of, say, like, here's a band, here's what they have. Every now and then we'll have a few commentaries to say stuff about it, but mostly that was sort of my intent here with this segment. So moving along, we have a few that came out this week or have been announced the last few days since we did our recording. And the first one is the Burn Eternal debut album. This is Howard Jones.
I see that name.
Previously from Killswitch Engage.
And Light the Torch.
And also Light the Torch,
like,
yes.
I already am like, I can't wait for that to come out. So do they have a date?
I don't think they have a date necessarily yet, but he's also working with Adam. I'm going to fuck up this last name. Dolkiewicz?
Absolutely not. Dolkiewicz.
Thank you. I fucked that up. I'm sorry.
I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it's a lot better than
whatever the fuck I did. I did not mean any ill will or anything like that. I've said this a lot. I'm dyslexic as fuck, and I don't even try sometimes. And not because I don't care. Whatever. I'm rambling again. Anywho, that's the guitarist for Killswitch Engage as well.
Oh, awesome.
You know who he is.
Yeah,
he's the one who's always like pizza. He's like the goofy fucker and whatnot. The one time we saw them with Disturbed way back in the day, he had a broken foot. It's when
you always bring this up. I don't remember it.
You don't remember that?
No.
Because that's when we saw them like 2 times. We were in Waterloo. We saw them there.
Yeah. No, I remember that.
And then we saw them in Des Moines like a week later or something.
2008.
Yeah. And it was the Des Moines show where he's sitting down with a broken foot. I was like, we just fucking saw you like 3 days ago. Well, how the fuck did you break your foot?
I've always thought those shows were like 3 days apart, but in reality, I'm pretty sure it was like 2 months apart. One was in March and one was in May.
Was it really?
Yeah, if you look at our tickets on the wall, one was in March and one was in May.
I always thought it was like a weekend.
I did too.
Every other weekend type thing.
Like, that's how I remember it, is being like, we went and then we went again. But no. If you look at the dates.
Months, wow.
The only thing that, unless if there was like, I don't remember back or whatever, but like maybe one of them was, or like the one in March was postponed or something. I don't know. But it was definitely not they were not back to back, but I always thought that they were too.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I think we talk about that every time as well, that it was sort of, it wasn't as close as we remember it, but okay. Interesting. Anywho, this album should be coming out hopefully soon. Apparently it's been in the works for quite some time.
Yeah, it looks like it, yeah.
So it sounds like it's done. They just need to probably put the finishing touches on it, get the physical media actually made and whatnot, and then out on the shelves for people to pick up. So
I'm excited for this now. I didn't see that this was announced, so I like Howard's voice.
Yes.
And it's very distinct. In my ears, it's very distinct, and that's why I like immediately when we saw Light the Torch, 2022 with Avatar in Indiana.
Is that where we saw them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was at Tinley Park for some reason.
No, it was in that basement show. And like, we did see him at Tinley Park as well.
Yeah.
But that was later.
Okay.
But as soon as I was like, holy shit, like I know this voice, like who is this?
And I was like, it's Killswitch Engage, it's the End of Heartache. Like,
yeah, you can hear the voice,
yes.
right? Yeah.
And for me, he is Killswitch Engage because that's how I found Killswitch Engage, especially with that song.
Same.
So nothing against Jesse Leach or anything like that. We've seen him play with Killswitch now a few times, and he's good. Don't get me wrong, he's great. But to me, it's Howard Jones.
Yeah, like that's the voice that I started listening to Killswitch as well. So,
but yeah, have a new album coming out, Burn Eternal, at some point here, hopefully shortly. Burn
Eternal's the collaboration band, right?
That's the band, yeah. And their debut album is coming out. Next, we have Temple of the Void with The Crawl. That is coming out March 6th of this year, 2026. Then we have Black Label Society, Engines of Damnation, coming out March 27th. Kind of weird to me that Black Label has an album coming out, but Zach seems to be touring under the Zach Sabbath sort of moniker band.
Maybe it's just not announced yet. Maybe it'll be announced this fall.
Maybe. I prefer Black Label over Zach Sabbath. No offense to Zach Sabbath or Black Sabbath to begin with, because it's a tribute band to Black Sabbath, but I just prefer his own stuff. So if you want to play some Sabbath and Ozzy shit during your normal set, and I'd be happy there. But whatever. It's still cool to see. Next, I have The Last 10 Seconds of Life. No clue who this band is, but they have a new album coming out, The Dead Ones, April 17th. Again, I'm going to fuck up this name, and I'm not meaning to. It's Boise de Nega? Neg? I don't know why I got the Nega at the end, but it's Boise de Nag. Boise de Nag. BOSSE-DE-NAGE. Bas de Nuge. It's French. They're a French black metal band, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what I said. Sorry, I'm not talking to my mic. Yes, I think that's what I said. Yes.
In any case, they have a new album coming out as well. And just to clarify, the name is French, but they are from San Francisco, and they're the post-black metal band. I think this is like their 12th album or something. Let me take a look. I don't know. I could be getting that mixed up. But Hidden Fires Burn the Hottest is the album coming out on March 6th. So, again, a band I don't know about, but knowing that they're from San Francisco and they're post-black metal, I'm kind of into that. So I like San Francisco. This would be fun, I think. And the next one, a big one for us because we're excited for it.
Yeah, well, we already talked about it a little bit, but it's Lamb of God finally, or like not finally, but they actually announced the album. I think in last week's episode we talked that we did their pre-sale.
Because I think it was like the one merch item, or maybe it was. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, but we did talk about it, but I don't know what segment either. But we bought or purchased during the pre-sale or whatever, but they have a name, Into Oblivion. An article said that Randy named it that because of the state of the world right now.
Okay. But, makes sense.
And then they also updated the tour to be Into Oblivion. So I believe you mentioned that you've not with the 3 Days Grace tour.
Nope, it was Trivium.
Okay,
the
Trivium
Struck
tour.
Dead Man tour, whatever it was called. Yeah,
that you hadn't seen like a tour name change. This wasn't really. It was a tour name change, but it just went from North America tour to Into Oblivion.
Yeah, I would call that more of we didn't have a tour name and now we have one. Where before, to me, it was we had a tour name and now the EP came out. It's like, let's rename this after the EP. Again, though, a lot of bands, when they do announce their tours, it is for in support of an album and doing that. Yeah. So I know when they announced that tour originally a couple of weeks ago, or maybe even a month ago now, or whenever they announced it, I know people on Reddit again were in the comments being like, I already saw them once. I saw them last year on their run. Unless they have a new album coming out, I don't need to go see them. I want to hear the new music, so I'm gonna skip this one, I think. Even though they had Sepsis, and there was one other single that came out.
It starts with a P.
Yes, I can't remember that name either. And now they had a new single, not only in the announcement of this tour, but also Into Oblivion, the title track off of that was also released this week. Which is probably a good segue then into new music, but I'm going to let you find this.
Parasocial Christ.
Yes, that one.
It's so weird. It's like one of those things, like, once you see it, it's like, oh, duh. Like, I remember what that was.
So I guess, let's get into the new music that was released. And we'll start with Into Oblivion. Did you listen to that yet?
No.
I listened to it a couple times.
I've seen it on Instagram, but just like a little blurb of it, not the whole thing.
There's something about it I'm not grooving to. I'm not liking that much.
I'll listen to the whole thing and then see.
Somebody in the comments on Reddit again brought out, like, I feel like Randy's vocals are just muted. They're not as they're not as front center. They're getting drowned out by the guitars and everything else. And other people in the comments were like, it sounds great to me. I'm listening to good headphones and it sounds awesome to me. I'm maybe the only person, but I do kind of agree with that. Randy's vocals just don't sound as front forward as I would like to see. It does feel very drowned out. It doesn't, it feels weird to me. It feels like a weird song. It doesn't necessarily feel like a Lamb of God song.
Interesting.
But I love Sepsis. This one's just sort of After a couple of listens to it, it's starting to grow on me. So to me, that could be a good song, because typically songs that I don't like right away end up growing on me over time and becoming really like some of my favorites, versus Sepsis I really liked as soon as it came out. Problem is I listened to it way too much, that to the point where it's like I don't like it after, you know, a year or so, because I've listened to it way too much. Yeah. So that was one thing. Moving on to the next song. We have Gutslit with I Berserker. I did not listen to this one. So that was the one I did not listen to. But yeah, new song that came out. I did, though, listen to Temple of the Void Temple of the Void is the band. The Crawl is the single that came out. We mentioned that they had an album coming out as well. This is the single off that album.
What's their music like?
It's kind of black death metal-y. Okay. I listened to this track. I didn't like this track all that much. Oh, okay. But as soon as this got over, Spotify switched onto another track of theirs. I can't remember what it was. But I really, really enjoyed that track. This one has bits to it that I do enjoy. It just wasn't something like, oh my God, that was amazing when I heard it. But it was fun. So this is definitely a band I want to check out more based off that one listen.
That's cool. Other death doom metal.
Yeah.
Did you get death doom out of it?
I got a little bit of doom, yeah, but more death than anything else. Okay. The second track, like I said, I don't remember what it was, but it shifted on to something else. That I enjoyed a little bit more. That may have had more of the doomy aspect to me. Yeah. So maybe that's why I enjoyed that a bit more. But again, something to keep my eye out for sure. The other one I have is the Black Label Society, Name in Blood. When I did listen to that as well, when it first started, I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of it. But then as soon as Zach started singing, I was like, holy shit, I love this. It's not necessarily a super slow song like In This River or something like that, but it starts off slower and then gets heavier as he goes. Very guitar focused, obviously. It's Zach. Yeah. So it's going to be guitar focused, but it's a really, really good track. I'm really excited for that. There's like 4 songs, I think, so far on this album that's out there on Spotify that you could listen to. This one and the final one on that's been released so far have been my favorite too. But Name in Blood was definitely my favorite one. Yeah, just looked up Lord Humongous. That was the other one that I really, really enjoyed off of that. Though that's been released so far. But Name in Blood was definitely my favorite so far. Really, really cool track, and one I can see myself listening to quite a bit. So again, like I was saying with Lamb of God, I'm going to burn myself out on that real soon, would be my guess. But then you have a couple as well that you found this week.
Yeah, the Of Sulfur, which I mentioned, it did come out on January 16th for the whole album did. They've dropped a lot of singles off of it. I want to say like 4 or 5.
Okay.
So a lot of the songs, when I was listening to it, I had heard
already
before.
known.
Yeah. There are a lot of great songs on this. I'm going to really, really enjoy the show when we see them in a couple months, especially if they play a lot of the new stuff, which I'm sure that they'll probably at least play like the 4 singles. But since they're an opener, I'm sure that they'll only get like 45 minutes. So that makes me a little, not concerned, but a little sad.
You'll get like 1 or 2 at most, I bet. Yeah. You're not going to get all 4 of those new singles.
No, I bet they'll play the 4.
You think so?
I bet they'll play those 4. And then, but we're not going to get the songs that I like from previous.
I was going to say, because there's not much time then after those 4. If you only get like 30 minutes.
No, they're the right before Orbit Culture. Or, yeah. So they'll get like 45 minutes.
So, yeah, okay. They can, I can see that then. Okay.
45, 50 minutes, yeah. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. But they're going to have to cut something from what I already like. So, but we talk about that a lot with bands where it's like, with a new album, you're not going to get all.
Even as a headliner, you're going to cut some of that older shit so you can have your newer shit, right? Because you got to support that new album.
Yeah, like we talk about that with Whitechapel a lot, where it's like, we're not going to hear like The Valley.
Yeah.
You know, like that album, or, you know, or you get the Blood Soaked Symphony off of Kin and you don't really get anything else. So, I forgot to listen to this album, but Creator has a new album also out on the 16th.
I did see that came out. We got an email from Decibel where
okay.
you can buy like a certain copy of like
cool.
a certain pressing of the vinyl and whatnot. Yeah. And I was like, holy shit, we need to listen to this.
Yeah.
They're a band that like we saw live and I liked them. I never like listened to them.
I don't listen to them either, and I'm in the same boat. Like whenever I see anything with Creator, it's like, oh, Creator, and then like I don't listen to the music. But their album is called Crusher of the World. I was going to listen to it on a way home last night on the train, and I just forgot. So, but I probably had plenty of time to listen to it because I think it was like an hour and a half ride home.
Yeah, the train ride from the Metal Care Market.
Yeah. So we had plenty of time. I should have listened to it, but I forgot.
Oh well, always next time you can listen to it.
There's so many more songs or like announcements. We've tried to like make this so it's not an hour and 45-minute episode like last week's episode. So.
Yeah, and also like you said, don't just sit here and list them off and say a thing. Maybe when we do like the in the studio, because there's not a whole lot to know about that. Maybe a blurb or two about like the band itself, but mostly that will just be reading off. New music, definitely try to like focus on stuff we listen to. Not always going to happen. Sometimes there's going to be like a big announcement like, holy shit, that was awesome. We didn't listen to it yet, but it's definitely on the list. I also thought about going through and making a new playlist for Spotify where we just put all of the new music of 2026 and just throw all of it on there. And even if we don't talk about it, but then that's something that we could just shuffle through as well, because our playlist so far has nothing on it for 2026. But we might be putting some music on there from our main event, our main stories for the night.
Do they have a set list?
Kayo Dot has a set list.
Oh, interesting.
They're the only band of the three that have a set list, but you can put that on there.
Cool.
So move into the main topic then?
Yeah. So for our concert report this week, we did go to 2 concerts. One at Reggies in the bar. They call that the Music Joint.
Okay.
And then we went to what you've mentioned a couple times already, the Metal Cares Market or Metal Cares charity event, whatever you want to say. So do you want to start with Kayo Dot?
Yeah, let's start in order. That's what we saw first.
Yeah.
As you said, we saw that at Reggies. It was, I know they have the 2 stages. I know they have the bar stage and the big stage.
They have the other one too. I don't know what it's called.
Another one?
Yeah, it's like upstairs. They do a lot of comedy stuff, but I did see a clip that a band was there.
Interesting. I did not. I think I knew that, but also was like, I've never been there and I've never heard of anybody being up there, so therefore I don't think it exists. But okay. Interesting. Any case, what I was trying to get to is I don't know that they're called different things. I just call it the bar stage and the main stage or the big room or something like that.
The Music Joint and the Rock Club.
The Rock Club, right.
Yeah.
So this is our third show. We saw a show a couple years ago sitting there at the table.
Yeah.
They didn't have the floor moved or anything. They just sort of had their tables around the stage and everything that you could sit at for the first 2 shows. I kind of expected this show to be the same way.
I did too, yeah.
But we showed up and they had moved the tables out of the way so people could stand on the floor, and it filled up pretty well in there.
Yeah. It was a good show because we were kind of talking about it. I'm like, I don't know how this is going to be. We didn't know anything about these bands. I went into it thinking it was going to be a doom night, and it was like
I did too.
Experimental rock kind of night.
I don't know why I thought doom, but I went in thinking doom too.
Yeah, I wonder if there was a show that we were going to see in December or something that was doom, and that just was like in our head, and it like snowballed into this or whatever. But
yeah, I don't know. I think I found out about this through Metal Injection. Middle of last year or something, and it's like the little blurb they had about the band. I was like, holy shit, that sounds fucking awesome. I want to check this out. And I think that's why I found this and wanted to go to it. But we paid $20 at the door for this ticket.
I think it was $28 if you bought online.
Then that included the fees and all of that. So we just showed up, paid the $20 in cash, and like no fees, no tax, no nothing, just $20. Go find a spot and sit down. So that's what we did. The bands that were there, other than Kayo Dot, they were the headliner. We have William Covert and...
I think they're called William Covert Trio.
Oh, William Covert Trio, is that they're called? Okay. Yeah. And then we also have Straya. And I think the William Covert Trio would have been the first band then.
Yes.
And then Straya would have been the second band.
Yeah.
And then Kayo Dot, the headliner.
And Straya's from Minneapolis. And then, so we saw them Thursday night, and then Friday night, they also played with Kayo Dot in Minneapolis. So these were the only 2 shows that they were playing together. And I don't think William Covert Trio was with them in Minneapolis. I think that was just a Chicago thing. Okay,
interesting.
Yeah.
Are they? I wonder if they're local or local.
I think they were. Okay. Yeah, when I looked it up, they were. Experimental rock, I think, is what their thing says.
Yeah. So the William Covert trio, just 3 guys up there. They had a synth, a drum, a bass,
and guitar.
A guitar, and the synth did a lot of lifting in that set as well.
Yeah.
No singing, just the 3 of them up there jamming, having a good time. I enjoyed their set. I thought it was fun. It was something I could see putting on as background noise, mostly, is how I took that. It was fun. I enjoyed it, but I did get a little bored toward the end. They played a long set. They played like 40, 45 minutes as well as the first opener. So I was like, holy fuck, you guys are playing forever. But other than that, I thought it was a decent set for sure. I don't think you enjoyed it as much.
No, you used the term just now. They were enjoying themselves, having a good time. They did nothing. They played their instrument like they were just jamming in a basement.
Yeah.
There was no emotion.
Agreed.
There was no, and maybe that's just their vibe and that's what they want. But I could see the guitarist the most because there was people standing otherwise. So but he basically faced the drum kit and just looked at the drum kit and played his guitar.
We also had the synth up there he was fucking around with too.
No, that was the guy in the middle.
Oh.
I'm talking about the guy on the side.
Okay, I got you now.
Or was that the bass?
I think that was the bass.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that was the drum. I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But I know what you're talking about.
Or was there 2 guitars?
No, there's the 3 of them.
Okay.
So yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay. But he literally had no emotion. And he would look down at his feet. He would play his instrument and then look at the drum kit. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, maybe this is what they do when they're practicing or jamming or whatever, when they practice. But it's I don't know. We've always said performance doesn't need to be grand and everything to enjoy it. But I think that would have given something just have some emotion that you're playing music. And I didn't feel like any of them had any. And I think that especially with the music that they were doing, I think having some passion or emotion would have given it a different feel.
I definitely would have given it a different feel. I agree with that. I don't know if that would enhance it or make it better or worse is what I guess I'm going at. I think the intent was focus only on the music and not what we're up here doing.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But you can still show passion that you're doing it.
Fair, yeah.
And I mean, that comment comes, I'll just say it. That comment comes in with Straya and Kayo Dot. Seeing the performers perform, they enjoyed what they were doing. Or they at least looked like they enjoyed what they were doing.
Straya definitely had a lot more movement, I'll put it that way.
I couldn't see Straya that much except for 2 people.
Okay.
So that's all I got to say. But I could, for Kayo Dot, I could see the violinist and trumpeter,
yeah.
Because he played
both.
But I could see him and the emotion he was putting into it. It's he's enjoying what he's doing. And that's where my comment from the first band is coming from is I don't know. It was just, it just sounded like noise and it didn't come together, where I think if they had passion for what they were doing, it would maybe come together a little bit more.
Gotcha. So you didn't enjoy their set
I did not enjoy their set at all. I don't think I would listen to them again.
I might. They don't have it on their set list, but so we're not going to add it on set list FM. And neither does Straya. And I'll tell you, I definitely did not enjoy Straya. I fucking hated Straya so much.
And what did you hate about them?
It just felt artsy, too artsy, almost to the point of almost forced. It felt like
so way to the other extreme of what I'm saying. From the first band.
Yeah, okay. It's we're going out there and we're doing this really deep, mindful sort of. This song is. When we were sitting there that night, I was thinking if you probably asked, it's I'm going all over the place here. If you look at a piece of art and you ask the artist or you ask a critique, somebody who's in the art industry and whatnot, and they just tell me about this painting, and the painting is just a green circle. Well, you see this represents life and death, and it represents the cow eating the blade of grass before he's slaughtered and becomes meat and then feeds the humans, and then the industrial complex or the industrial machine that is American society and needing to eat meat. That's all it is. And it's a green fucking circle. Yeah, it's a circle of life. It's told from the point of view of a blade of grass, because even though the cow eats the grass is still alive and grows and nurtures and lives. And no matter what you do to the grass, you can cut it and knock it down as many times as you want, but it grows back stronger than ever. That's kind of what this music felt like. Okay. Is if you ask them to talk about their music, they're going to go on this 30-minute diatribe about how deep and philosophical the song is, and like why the trumpet over here means so much. And then I could not stand the music. I could not stand it. The vocals came in and he did like the screamy vocals, which I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool vibe. I like that. But I got over it so quick.
Okay.
The highlight for me, there were 2 songs in particular, but they were the slower, softer songs with the trumpet.
Okay.
Those 2 songs, and the trumpet and the drum, I loved those songs. Those were so good. Everything else just felt very artsy and forced to me. So I did not like their set at all.
So I couldn't see them perform, so I don't know. Like, 'cause I sat down the whole time. I didn't really care to stand up. That was just my own opinion. And the floor did fill in. So I took in the music by just basically looking down or looking at people's heads. But I liked the fact that you could hear the clarinet, you could hear the trumpet, you could hear each little individual piece, but it melded together very well. I honestly thought it was I don't even say rockier, but like a very, very, very much softer Mother of Graves.
Oh,
and
really?
Like, even with the vocals, how the vocals tied into the music and stuff, like I could see the same, like I felt the same emotion listening to that I did Mother of Graves. But I didn't see them perform. Like I didn't see their faces. I didn't see them perform.
And I didn't really pay that much attention to them when they were performing as well, because we were in the back at that table. I think I stood up a couple times to take some photos. But yeah, for the most time we were just sitting there at the table and not really getting the greatest view of the stage for sure. Interesting that you brought up like the Mother of Graves aspect, so then that is a little bit more doomy, just a slower, softer sort of doomy aspect.
I don't know how to put this experimental rock into that because it's like totally different vibe, but like the emotion is there.
See, and that's where I get like the keening. I view the keening as being a slower, softer Mother of Graves, where the emotion's there, the dread is there. Dreadnought, there's another good band that falls in line to me there. This, again, doesn't. It seemed like, I don't know. There were times where they bring in the trumpet and it would just be a weird note. Like, it sounded very jazzy, but like forced jazzy.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Like, I heard the drawn out trumpet, not like the, it was like,
there were a couple songs like that, but then there were a couple songs where there's like just one trumpet note blast out of nowhere.
Okay.
And
I don't
it felt
remember
off key to me, and and I know that's a style of music, and it's like it's just not jiving with me. I was not enjoying it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's interesting you brought up the Mother of Graves. I did not get that vibe. But it's music. Everybody gets their own vibe from it. So
yeah. I'm not saying that they are like Mother of Graves. I'm saying you can get the same emotion that like we get when we listen to Mother of Graves.
They also had a synth and a drum machine. So they had a drum machine with a pre-recorded drum track.
I was wondering, so I didn't see the stage, but I was wondering because when they were doing their sound check, they said like drum machine. And I'm like, you mean the drum kit? No,
it was a drum machine, and they would turn that loop on to do that loop.
Then.
And the first band,
I hate when people do that.
I was the same way. I was like, I don't know, but I mean, at the same time,
did they have a drummer too?
They did have a drummer also.
Interesting.
So the first band, they had a synth as well, and they did this during their sound check too, where the bassist, the guy on the synth, laid down like a bass riff and a beat and whatnot and recorded that and then looped that back. And then when he's doing that, he's going off doing something else. So that I kind of enjoy more of, like, if you're going to go up there and record yourself and then loop it, like that's different to me than having a pre-recorded bass bit or drum bit that you're just going to hit play and put that on loop as the background noise. Again, I kind of sort of get it, but I also don't like it as much. I know there's bands out there that do that. I know Slipknot has a DJ and synth as well. So it's like, but those feel more, they do it there live. They don't, just hit record on this thing.
I can't remember what the guy's name is, but he was the guitarist that we saw in Milwaukee, and he was just up there by himself. But he had recorded.
Oh, Amigo the Devil.
No.
No?
He recorded the bass and the drums himself. Like, he played them. Did it start with a J?
Not Jairus Johnson. Was this at the Baby Clock show?
Yes.
Where he was up there, Richard
Johnson?
No.
That would
Dick
be
Johnson.
Dick Johnson.
I mean, it could be Dick Johnson. I think that was 2023. Dick Johnson. Jason Richardson was his name.
Jason Richardson, yes.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. We talked about that during that episode too. We did an episode on that, and we talked about it was really cool. He's super talented, but it would have been better if he actually had a drummer behind him instead of just a recorded drummer.
Yeah, yeah. That made me think of that when you were talking about the recorded drum piece. So, anyways, let's talk about Kayo Dot and then let's get on to Metal Care so that we're not talking about this for 45 minutes.
Yeah, Kayo Dot, they do have a set list. I will throw this up on the playlist. This will be the start of our playlist for this year. Why don't you read off their set list for us?
And he built him a boat, the assassination of Adam, blind creature of slime, oracle by severed head, whisper ineffable, blue, lambency downward, amaranth, the peddler, and they ended with passing the river. I don't like the name of those songs.
Again, very sort of artsy and deep and meaningful or something. You know what I mean?
I do feel like I looked up one of their songs, and it was like 10 minutes and 34 seconds long.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know how long these are, but
that's 8 tracks. So I mean, it was starting to get late. I was not in a good mood, mostly because of that second band. And I was like, no, I'm good. We can bounce. So halfway through the set, or at some point through the set, we did end up leaving.
I feel like we stayed for quite a bit of it.
I think we did. We probably made it like 5 or 6, track 5 or 6 or so.
I enjoyed. I could only see the violinist because of the crowd. I mean, the crowd was pretty packed. I mean, not packed in there, but like, you know, it was a pretty good sized crowd for the bar stage where, like you said, we've normally sat at the tables and there's maybe like 1 or 2 people standing. Yeah. So it was a good turnout for them. I think we talked about on the way home, the venue for these bands maybe was not the best, and that could be where our our thoughts are coming from.
And I agreed with you when you said that on the way home. It's like, this definitely felt like the wrong venue for this. This would have been better in like a loungy venue.
Yeah. And that's how I kind of pictured it, is like in a, you know, like with like the round seats or like a bench type seat or something. And you're just like kind of sitting back with a drink and, you know, watching the show or whatever, not like a rock joint.
And you called out a good venue for this would have been the place where we saw me and Allie.
I just said like Park West.
Park West, yeah. That's
I think Park West is way too big for this.
I think so too.
But at least for the turnout that they had.
But then I think you said the Green Mill.
Yeah,
and I was like, holy shit, that would have been a fucking perfect venue for this.
Yeah. I don't know. It just almost seems like more of like a backing music type thing. And that's what I'm saying, like a lounge type thing than a rock club.
It surprised me to hear that you did like it. When we came home, you're like, I was actually really enjoying that. And I was like, are you fucking with me? Like, you don't like this shit. How do you like this?
I took out the doom metal aspect, obviously, because when we went in, we thought it was doom metal. I was really focusing on the individual instruments and the individual piece coming together for the songs. And I think that's where I got my enjoyment out of it, where you were maybe going down a philosophical loop of it or something.
I was really enjoying Kayo Dot. I was just sort of done with the evening by the time. It was late and I was like, I'm just done. I want to go home. I think I was cold too, so I was like, I just want to go warm up.
I do think that we need to allow ourselves this more often, where especially these shows that are, you know, $10, $15, $20, to go enjoy some time, maybe get dinner, especially at Reggies. I mean, you can get dinner, and then stay for a couple songs and then leave.
Yeah, it's tough for me. I've definitely been a big stickler of, I paid for the show, I'm going to see all of the show. I'm going for the openers. I'm staying for all of the headliner. I want to stay for everything. And I've always been a big stickler on that, especially the openers.
Openers, yes. We show up early.
Find so much great music by going to see an opener. So I've always been a stickler on that, but I do agree with you that I need to sort of get that out of my head and say, like, it's okay to leave.
Yeah, we're just there paying the cover charge. We're there to hear some live music, and we're gonna go home. Yeah,
you don't need to stay for all of it. So I need to get that in my head. It's gonna be hard. I'll work on that this year, but that's definitely something I want to check out.
Especially with these bar shows, I think that's my main thing. Is like, you know, like not necessarily have to stay for the bar shows.
Yeah. All in all, though, $20 show.
Yeah,
it wasn't horrible. The second band, I would say, they weren't horrible. All right, they really weren't.
It's not our music either.
It's not.
So
Kayo Dot definitely more so, and that first band, William something or other,
Covert Trio.
William Covert Trio. again, as like background noise or something for me for sure. But yeah, $20, not bad for a show. But then we moved on to our next show of the week, which was the Metal Cares Market out in Woodstock, Illinois.
Yes.
We found a flyer for this when we were out seeing friends earlier in December.
Yeah, at the Arlington Park
train station. Arlington Heights train station. Arlington Park is the next stop.
So it was a very, very cold night, and I just remember like kind of huddling in a corner, and like in the window of the train station was a flyer for this, and I'm like, oh, it looks like something we would be into.
Yeah.
So, and we had nothing planned for this day, so we ventured out to Woodstock, Illinois.
And it said it was a metal concert and a metal market. So it's like, holy shit, you're gonna get like the oddities, you're probably gonna get vinyl and CD collections, and you're gonna get some other weird shit. This will be fun. Let's check this out. Luckily, it was a Saturday, so we were able to take the Metro out there. It was a long Metro trip out.
Yes, it's the upper Northwest?
UP Northwest. Union Pacific Northwest.
Yes. So, yes, not upper
Not
Northwest.
upper, yes.
So the UP Northwest train, and it's the second to last stop, I think.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, so it's a long journey for us. I think we left here at 11:30.
11:30. Train was 12:30. We got in about 1:30.
No, it was after 2.
Was it after 2?
Yeah, it was after 2.
Okay. And found a bar, got lunch. Football came on, so we watched a little bit of football, and then we headed on over to this shortly after doors, which were 4 p.m. It was $10 at the door for us to get in. You probably could have bought tickets ahead of time as well.
Yeah, he did ask if we had tickets.
And I found the website. We're looking at it right now. I think there's a link in here, too, to get tickets.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, you could have bought them ahead of time. So we got in a little after 4. We wandered the downtown just trying to get up there to find, like, the entrance for this, and found a record store. It's really, really cool, neat little downtown, small town vibes for sure.
Yeah, we'll definitely go back to Woodstock.
Yes.
Eventually, just like make a whole day out of it or something. So
that record store was fucking phenomenal.
Yes.
Great metal selection.
Great metal. The only thing I don't like about it is it's like the Grinnell, Iowa record shop where it's alphabetical order. So it's not like you go to your section, which could be cool.
Yeah, you're gonna find shit.
You can find other stuff. It's just sometimes I don't want to look through 100 records to find my one. Metal album, but he had a good, I mean, I'm saying he because he's the owner of the shop, but he had a good selection of metal that we found, and we didn't look at all of it by any means. So
good foot traffic the first time we walked in. After the show, we ended up going back, picking up a few things and getting food again at that same bar that we found the first time. But he's also moving, he said, to a different location. The new location is going to have like a performance stage, not like a actual
not a stage. Performance platform. And he might have some artists come every now and then and put on a little show there. He said he had Mr. Fly in his current location at one point, which would have been really, really cool. So definitely worth checking that out. But hey, we were in Woodstock for the Metal Care Market. So we made our way that way. A couple other things real quick. It was a beautiful snowy night. Like it was like a perfect Christmas snow. It was freezing cold, like negative degrees the whole time. But it was the Christmas, just like straight down snow.
Yeah.
Like
also, Woodstock, this little downtown area, is where Groundhog's Day was filmed. And so it's like a big celebration they have. They're going to have a big festival out there for it. I did not know that. So cool little fun fact about Woodstock, Illinois, if you didn't know.
We learned that from the guy that owns the record shop.
We did. But like I said, we were here to see the Metal Cares Market. So got there a little after 4. Bands were supposed to start at 5:30, according to this little flyer.
Okay. I thought it said 5. I thought online it said 5.
It doesn't matter because they didn't start till 6, a little after 6.
Yeah.
In any case, so we got there a little bit after 4, like I said, multiple times now already. The floor wasn't open, so we made our way up to the market. It was a small little market, not super big, but it had enough shops.
Yeah, this seems like it's like a community center, like where they would maybe. Well, I thought it was going to be like a wedding venue, which maybe people rent it out for wedding, but it's like a small town community center.
I felt like it was like an Eagles club.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm considering community center.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not very large.
No.
And Yeah, so like you go downstairs and that's where they have the stage area, and then upstairs was just like an open room.
Buddy.
Sorry.
Cat just woke up from his nap. Now he needs to play.
Yeah, just like an open room where like I saw some pictures where they had like Santa there and stuff like in the winter, or, like in Christmas time. So it's definitely a place where the community can come and do multiple things. It's not just for this.
And I don't have the flyer with me, but the first booth we walked by up there, talking to the woman who's there running that at the moment, they're in Woodstock. They have a youth center where the kids can come and hang out and whatnot. They have a couple other centers around town that are, helping, I'm assuming homeless or low income.
I think so, because she was saying like, like getting propane and getting food and
helping out the community, those who need help and whatnot.
So when I hear propane, I'm thinking of people who maybe don't have heat or are living outdoors or like in a camper type situation.
Because you grew up with propane heat, so like that was a thing for you all for heat, was it not?
Well, yeah, but yes, but I guess I'm thinking more of like the propane, like what we use for like
cooking.
A grill.
Okay.
Like that sort of thing, where like our propane came on a truck into a big tank.
I suppose you would need that, yes.
So
I don't know, whatever.
I'm thinking more of we didn't ask. Maybe we should ask some more questions. Yeah. But when I heard propane heat, I was thinking like little heaters that you can use the propane for like a grill, or you can use it for like a heater type thing. So.
But they had 3 shops around the square. One of them was for that. One was for like the youth center. I can't remember what the third one was for. They're closing down one of their centers.
One was like a coffee shop or something.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Like a donation type thing, not donation thing, but like the proceeds go to this or something.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like a place for people to get jobs or something. We should have asked more questions.
We should have asked a lot more questions.
Yeah.
In any case, the point is they had a big sign up on their stand of the drawings of their new building they're going to be getting or moving into.
I think part of it they've moved into because they have the skate park already.
Right. I was going to say that they used to have it. She was like, when I was a kid in high school, they had a skate park and I always hung out down there, and they closed that down. And the guy you met downstairs who was like running this whole event,
I think so.
It was his skate park, and he's bringing it back.
Yeah.
They're working to bring it back. So it was really cool to see like this community coming together for like the skate park, and they had the whole drawing. They had a fundraiser in December. I think she said they raised like $50,000 or something for it, but they're still raising more money for this youth center thing, this little complex thing they're building. But it has the skate park. It seems like it had a print shop, so I'm wondering like screen printing for like t-shirts and posters and whatnot.
Yeah.
They had a stage as well set up, a music studio that they're going to put in there. So the whole complex, like, holy shit, that looks fucking awesome. I wish I had something like that when I was a kid.
Sorry. Okay. Cat's out of the way.
For now.
So I don't think we said this, but the organization is Warp Core.
Warp. Yes, that's who it was that we talked to. Yes.
Yeah. So Warp was the old skate park that she went to, or that the person that we talked to went to. And just by Googling Warp Core or whatever, it's a nonprofit, obviously in Woodstock, that combats suicide, substance use disorder, and homelessness through positive engagement in music, art, and action sports like skateboarding.
Yep.
So that's where like all this is coming from. And like the drawing that they did show, like they want the building to get to is the skate park, like a Ninja Warrior type. Oh,
she did say that they're gonna bring in American Ninja, like the Ninja
like
Warrior.
the little obstacle course thing. And then we saw like the art room and stuff. So when the print shop or the print, whatever could be for the art, like to get your art out there or whatever. And
the reason I'm focusing mostly on this one booth in the market, and like I said, there were others. There was a guy selling vinyl and CDs and shit. There was people selling coffee. There were people like the oddities type places where like they had this really cool lamp with like a.
So if you ever see a cool lamp behind us,
eventually, we buy one. But it has like the spine of some animal as like the thing that's holding up the lamp with this old black like shade over it. It's really cool shit there. Other handmade goods all over the place. So a lot of cool shops. But the reason I wanted to focus mostly on this one is because it seemed like they were putting on this whole event to raise the money and awareness for everything they're doing to support in their community. But also when we got down and finally got to see a show, it felt very high school, winter formal, bring out your your best black t-shirt type attire.
Well, no, winter formal for the kids that may be using this facility.
All right. So yeah, I do say winter formal because it was snowing and it was winter time.
Yes.
And it was like a high school dance.
It was high school dance.
But for metalheads.
For metalheads.
Yes.
It was definitely a place for the kids. I'm saying kids because they were kids. But for them to come with their friends for the night, the parents probably had no questions because it's going to be like a safe area for them to come and they could just hang out with their friends. Cat break. Cat is in the bedroom.
It's locked up.
So, I don't remember what I was saying, but basically, in my mind, I was just happy to see the kids having fun because it's like a place for them to hang out with their friends, do the things that they want to do, and not have to do what I call preppy kids or, like the popular kids or, because I'm sure that those kids like to go to like the sports games and kind of do. And yeah, I'm thinking about my high school.
Sure. And I'm not saying like these kids don't like going to the sports game or anything.
I'm not saying that either.
But no, yeah, I definitely and it wasn't just kids there. There were people of all ages. But for that first show, the pit was the first band, the pit was like all the high school kids.
Yeah, and the second band. Like the pit was that. I mean, basically there was 2 adults or adult looking people that got in the pit during the first band that was playing for just a little bit, but it's like they weren't doing like the whole like, oh, I'm tougher than you, I'm gonna push you around. Yeah. It's like everybody just kind of like let the kids have fun.
Yeah.
So
and it's really good to see like so many kids in this community or into metal and into hard rock and punk rock and what. There's one kid in the DRI shirt who's karate kidding his way through the pit and whatnot. Again, I've stated on this podcast I fucking hate the Karate Kids, but whatever, this kid was having fun and whatnot, and everybody's having fun with them. They did call for the Karate Kid. Yeah. So I don't know, thinking back in high school with me, like there weren't that many kids in my high school that were into this is a larger town. I think we looked it up, there were like 15,000 25,000 so 2 to 3 times larger than my town I grew up in.
But it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, there's like nothing around it.
We talked about that too, of like, these kids probably don't necessarily get to come into the city to see metal shows. We are sort of lucky enough in Chicago that we live in Chicago and we're able to see so many great shows that they might not get to. And as we walked in, we got handed the flyer because at that same venue, until June so far, they said, but there's every month there is a local metal band who's going to be playing there at some point, doing some show and whatnot. So, I mean, we might go back and check that out, but that was really cool to see. So, I mean, that's a way to get the kids, who can't get into the city to see this kind of music, a way for them to see it. And again, it was so fucking awesome to see. Not just that they had it, but that so many kids were actually in there having fun.
At first I was like, when the first kind of groups of kids were walking in, I'm like, the children showed up, because in my mind it was going to be like a normal metal show. I'm saying normal. Okay, so like a show that we go to here in the city, and then to see all the kids. See, and I'm saying kids again. All the high schoolers show up.
There were kids who I thought were in middle school.
I thought maybe a couple too.
There's like this group of like 3 girls that were walking around. Like, you're like fucking with their face 8. Painted. And what the fuck are how are what? Yeah. But no, they were in there having fun. Yeah. So,
but think about it, like if we're not parents, but even thinking about like when we were kids, like it would probably be more acceptable for us to go to an event like this that was supposed to get over by 9:30. We left a little early, so I don't know if it got over by 9:30 or not, but it's like you can drop them off and then you go pick them up at 9:30 or 10 o'clock or whatever. Yep. That they're, I'm gonna say safe, but that they're doing like where they are and stuff, and they're not just out running the streets causing a buck.
And that's the whole point of this community, right? That this warp community thing that they're putting together is like it's supposed to be a safe spot for kids to come in. Do shit like this is the way I took what they were trying to do.
They did say like 8 to 18-year-olds. So they're not a daycare. They're not for like little kids, but for.
So growing back up home, we did have a spot like that. I never went to it, but there was supposed to be like one of those same, like this is a hangout where all the kids can come hang out. And thinking about Dazed and Confused, that's kind of where they were all started the night out, wasn't it?
That was a dance. Yeah, that was like a high school dance, wasn't it?
No, they were playing pool in that pool hall where you meet all right. Like they're standing outside there. I can't remember what they call it.
That's the high schoolers. Yeah. I thought you meant the middle schoolers who are going to high
school. But that whole community thing was like for kids to come. That's how I've always viewed it. So,
okay.
I mean, we had it growing up, but this one seems like so much cooler to me. So yeah, we spend a lot of time talking about the people and the community aspect of this show. We haven't really touched on the bands at all. Who are the bands? I know there were 17, and then Wings of Severance.
Yes.
And then there were 2 other bands.
Strident Escape and Rotten Mouth.
And we only saw 17 and Wings of Severance, and not all of Wings of Severance. We left halfway through their set.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. And this is where I'm kind of saying that I'm not sure if they got over by 9:30.
Right.
Because 17 didn't start until after 6.
Yes.
They played for an hour.
Did they play for an hour?
45 minutes maybe. And then it was Wings of Severance, then they did the normal turnover. I don't remember what time Wings of Severance started, but say that they played till 7:40 to 7 or to 8 o'clock. That only leaves an hour and a half for 2 more bands, plus turnover.
Right.
So I'm not sure how that went.
And we wanted to bounce mostly because of the train schedules.
Yes, yeah.
I was a little hungry as well, so I wanted to get some food. So we went back to that bar that we talked about. This place didn't have any food. They had a small bar with snacks. You can get chips and candy and peanuts and shit like that. But for the most part, no food. So.
I think it would be great if they had a food truck.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Some sort of food truck or food table, like making... Yeah. I wouldn't eat walking tacos, but I bet you'd sell a fuck ton of walking tacos.
Yeah, like outside or whatever. So.
Hot dogs, even just sell hot dogs. Like
the little people that walk with their hot dogs with the...
or just have a table set up in the back as well.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah, having some sort of food that would have kept us there to see more music.
Yeah, because then you could have gotten food. Well, I want to go back to the record shop too, and they closed at 8, so it was like kind of a toss-up thing. So,
but I mean, the whole driving force for us was definitely the train schedule.
Yeah,
we wanted to make sure we got the train schedule and got back into the city.
Yeah,
if we got the second to last, which was like 8:30 or something.
Well, it didn't come until 9 o'clock, but it was supposed to be 8:48.
Yeah.
But otherwise, the last one was 9:48,
which gets us into back in Chicago about midnight, getting home from the train or Uber or however else we get home and whatnot.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was the only downside about going here, and we kind of knew we were going to leave early. I thought we would leave at like 9:30, or like right before it was over. But then you wanted some food and stuff, because otherwise, if we got back here in the city at midnight, like. You'd be eating chicken tenders for for food here. So
yeah, for sure. But quickly talking about the bands, 17, we did see them, like we said, young kids.
Young, yes.
A lot of fun, a lot of energy on the stage. They were just having fun with it, fucking around and having a good time. Music was decent.
Yeah.
Wasn't horrible, wasn't great. I mean, I don't want to say it that way. It was fun. I enjoyed their music.
I liked their music. It's kind of like a metalcore, as in like a Dying Wish metalcore, where it's like kind of the hardcore, death metal type music. But yeah, they had a lot of energy. They had it was a lot of fun to watch them.
Yeah, they were younger. They have a lot more energy than we do. So.
Well, Wings of Severance made that comment when they got up and
shit, I forgot about that. Yeah,
like, I'm just trying to keep up with the kids.
Like, God damn, they have so much energy. Yes. Fuck, they destroyed it. Like, they did put on a really, really, really good show.
Yeah.
And they were just having fun with it. Their friends were there. Like, you saw them hanging out in the crowd before they took the stage, and they're just sitting there joking around with their friends and everything. Yeah. And they get up there on stage, and their friends are starting the pit, having fun, getting shit going. So
yeah, it's good to see the young bands having so much fun. I don't even know how many times they said, we only have a couple more. Like, they said that like probably 3 or 4 times, and I'm like, you're an opener. Like, you literally should be done by now. But there was a little intermission where they switched around who was playing what.
Yeah, I did see that. Yep.
Like, meaning instrument wise or whatever. Like, they kind of moved around. And
was that the Lamb of God cover?
Yeah, the Lamb of God cover. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure one of the guitarists sang. I can't remember who did what.
Yeah, and then one of the guitarists went and did drums.
Drums. Yeah. I think his name's Matt, because it says.
Right, because the band is
Mexi death metal band plus Matt.
Yeah, the one white guy was
the
Matt.
One white guy. So yeah, I'm just putting out there like who could be Matt.
And the normal lead singer, she was like, I want to be in the crowd. I'm gonna have some fun. So during that bit, she did jump in the crowd and got in the pit. And
Lamb of God,
It was Laid to Rest. That was the cover they did during that.
He fucked up the lyrics.
They fucked up the guitars as well. But, they switched everybody around. That's normally not what they play. So they're going to fuck up, I guess.
Yeah. No, I liked the chat, like them trying to do,
fuck
do
yeah.
it or whatever.
Have fun with it.
And who knows? They could have fucked up all their songs and we just don't know their songs.
Also
so we don't
true,
know.
Yeah.
So, but, because we said that with, Meatloaf, that Meatloaf cover band that we did, or that we went to, and we're like, yeah, they fucked up Meatloaf. And I'm like, well, they could have fucked up the other guy's songs too, and we just didn't know. But just the lyrics were a little messed up.
But it was a good way to start the night for sure. Lots of energy.
I think having them be the opener with the kids there was good because it really, the first couple songs, like there was only a couple people kind of moving around or whatever, but then everybody, I mean, I don't even remember, but there was one time where I just like was smiling so hard because it was like when it dropped, like everybody just, like all the kids were like in the middle.
At some point I did go back to get another drink at the bar and I was like, this is fun. It's awesome to see the kids, but I also just need to like step away from the children for a second.
I was awkward standing with the kids.
Yes.
And also we generally do some photos and video for Instagram for the shows that we go to. I felt awkward recording, recording them. I did post a few videos, but I'm like, these are children and I'm not their parents.
Right.
So I feel awkward.
Yeah.
But then, I did come back and stand with you. I think after the Lamb of God cover.
Yeah.
But, it was there was some older people in the back. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. The age definitely got older the further back you went. Mostly because the bar was also back there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But yeah, great way to fucking start the night. And then we get Wings of Severance, which I really fucking liked them.
They
put on a good set. The little bit we did watch. I loved their sound. They called themselves like Viking metal or something. Like they reference Viking quite a bit.
Yeah.
But good sort of death metal sort of sound to it. I loved them. They were great.
Yeah. I was looking at their Instagram and they had a show with Repentance.
They were all local bands, right? I can't remember who you said it was, but there were 3 bands that were like local that they were on that stage several years ago.
So it was Burn in Effigy, Wings of Severance, and Repentance. And that was back in 2023. But I'm like, if we would have went to that show, I love Burn in Effigy. Repentance, we love seeing as well. So, we should have, if we would have known back in 2023.
All 3 local bands to Chicago too. So like that would have been Chicagoland. Yeah.
Plus Wisconsin.
Well, Repentance technically, I think, is Chicago. He just has his shop up in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Any case, really fun band. I wish we would have been able to stick around for the other ones.
Yeah. We made a choice, though.
We did make a choice. We did make a choice. I feel like we would have missed something, though.
Oh, we would have had to leave. Yeah.
The headliner, at least, and maybe even part of the next set, we would have had to like bounce for the train as well. So.
I don't think we said this, but all of the ticket sales went to the fundraiser.
Yep.
And all of the not booth sales, but the booth price, or like to rent the booth to bring your stuff here, went to the
back into the foundation, the group, the Warp Cares or whatever, the Warp thing. Warp Core, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, so that's where the money was coming from. And then they did some like a raffle.
Adore prizes and whatnot.
They did a door raffle, and you could buy tickets for a raffle as well. So, yeah. We didn't stick around for that either, which in the bathroom, I think they had the ad for the raffle, like that you could buy tickets. So I wonder if you could do it more than just that one night.
Oh, interesting.
Or at least in the women's bathroom, they had it.
The men's bathroom, they had a flyer for the next show that we had a ticket to, which again, though they have 5 bands and they don't start till like 6.
Yeah.
And we're like, I would love to come out for this. And maybe we will. And maybe we'll check out like 1 or 2 bands again.
And then leave.
But again, we're on a train schedule.
Yeah.
We're not going to drive. We could drive out there, but probably aren't going to.
Probably not.
But
that'd be a long drive.
It would be, yeah.
But anyways, we didn't stay. But the flyer in the bathroom said that they were going to, well, we were told at the door that they were going to call it before the headliner goes on. And in the bathroom, it said about 9 p.m. So that's another reason why I'm like, did it get over by 9:30? Like, I don't know. Who knows what time it got over, but.
Yeah, it probably ran late. But then again, most shows not most shows, but sometimes shows do run late. So, I don't know. All in all, it was $10 for the show.
Exactly.
Show was great. The town was fucking awesome. I'm glad we experienced that town. And it's a spot that we're going to check out again. Cause also that record store was super fucking sick. Yeah. So I see us going out there again. I don't see us necessarily seeing an entire show, but seeing aspects of a show for sure.
But for $10 to see a show is pretty good.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's where my mind was. Like $10, even if we only saw one band, it's like that's worth it for me.
Yep.
So.
All right. So I think that wraps up our main topic for the episode.
The 2 shows that we went to see.
The 2 shows we went to. When we started this, we talked about if we would do 2 shows or not. We might not be doing more than 1 show per episode.
We'll see. But I mean, we've talked about like if it's, say we saw
3 Days Grace.
3 Days Grace again. It's like, okay, we just talk about 3 Days Grace and then their openers, and then we move on to the next show,
which would be Lamb of God, and we've seen them a bunch too. So 10 seconds of we saw them, they were awesome. Same show as always. Yeah. But in any case, that wraps up the main topic. We have 1 left. Not sure if we'll always end on the concert calendar, but it sounds good to me because we talked about the concert we went to. The next thing is there's always the next show. And here's a list of new shows that were announced this week. Even though it was a short week, we still got a decent number of shows. Yeah. We didn't have the big Tuesday show boom that we are expecting to get. No, because we recorded
on Tuesday last time.
Yeah, so. Threw those in. But let's run through this real quick. First off, we have Raven Can't Take Away the Fire tour with Slackjaw. Not a band I know about, but usually when I see these pop up on like Metal Injection and it's on Metal Injection, like the Kayo Dot, I'll throw it on the list, and if we go, we go. And I don't know these bands, but hey, look at that. I think they're in Chicago, and they are in April at Reggies. So could be a fun little cheap show, but they are starting their tour on January, February, March. Yep, month 3. March 18th at Louisville, Kentucky, and ending May 3rd in Florida. Next 2, we have Danny Wimmer announcing a couple shows. We have Incarceration getting their lineup finalized or put out there, and then also Welcome to Rockville.
Oh, they got theirs out there.
Got theirs announced as well. Oh, okay. For Incarceration, though, we have Disturbed, Bad Omens, and Limp Bizkit as your headliners. But also you have stuff like Papa Roach, Hollywood Undead, Tech 9 is going to be there. I would have fucking loved that. Gojira, Poppy, Machine Head, A Day to Remember, Motionless in White, Ice Nine Kills, Lorna Shore, and a fuck ton of other bands are going to be there.
Landmarks is going to be there.
So,
I know. I messaged the person or our neighbors from camping last year, and I was like, oh, there's so many good bands that are going to be there this year. I wish we could make it, but we have another summer festival.
Yeah, a part of me is like this lineup, especially the headliners to me are like meh
for the headliners, but there's a lot of good
everybody
bands.
Else yeah. Disturbed headlining is shocking to me because they just announced like, hey, we're gonna take a long break.
That's true.
Apparently they're not gonna take that long of a break.
Well, maybe they're just doing the summer festival. Enthos is gonna be there,
but otherwise I was like I liked last year's a little better. But this, I know I had a lot of fun at Incarceration. It was a great festival. I would love to go back. So like, even though the lineup isn't super selling it for me, I know the festival as a whole was amazing. So I would expect this to be nothing less than amazing.
Well, and also, if the headliner is not like, oh my God, I have to see the whole thing, then you get on the bus and get back to the camping.
Campground. That's a good call. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Showers before everybody else does.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
See, there's pluses to not having
the
best headliners.
And that's in Mansfield, Ohio, for anybody who's curious about that one.
Yeah, it's out in the middle of nowhere.
It is, yes.
Well, it's at a prison yard, though. It's really cool.
It is a super fucking awesome venue. We have a vlog that will get up in like 5 years from now. It will be
we should put it up now that it's announced.
We should try to get it done, yes. But anyway, another Danny Wimmer, because he has like 12 different fucking festivals.
He has like 7.
He has a lot. That's the joke, yeah. But the next one is Welcome to Rockville, which is in Dayton. Ohio. Is that Ohio
Florida.
also?
No, it's Florida.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's at the Speedway.
Dayton Beach, Florida.
What's that Speedway that's there?
Sorry, not Dayton. Daytona Beach.
Daytona, yeah.
Dayton, Ohio is another one they have. That's a Sonic Temple.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
No, it's Columbus, Ohio.
Is that Columbus?
But it is Ohio, yeah.
Whatever. This one is in Daytona Beach, Florida, at a Speedway, and it is the headliners. And this, This particular festival is interesting to me because I always get fucked up because they have so many sections. I'm assuming each one of these is a stage.
It is a stage, yes.
And you have like your headliner for each stage.
So, and I think this is how they do Sonic Temple as well. And potentially Aftershock as well, where they have like a stage and then that stage is kind of like categorized. Like, I know at Sonic Temple, they have like a deathcore stage.
Oh, really?
And so like every band that day is like heavy deathcore bands.
That's actually kind of cool.
I don't know if that's how they always do it because I've only recently started looking at this schedules. But, well, maybe not because they have Five Finger Death Punch and then they have Amon Amarth on the same stage. So I could be wrong on that. But it is a stage. And so on this particular announcement, like the Pink is the headliner. Then you have your openers and then you have your morning bands.
So not going to run through all of these, but your main stage headliners, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday festival. You have Guns N' Roses on Thursday, Foo Fighters. What's that middle one there on Saturday?
Horizon. Bring
Me the Horizon. Yeah. And then My Chemical Romance are your main headliners. And then other bands are, like you said, Five Finger Death Punch, Ice Nine Kills. I see Lamb of God there, A Day to Remember, Zach Sabbath, Death Clock.
Avatar, Architects.
Avatar, Sundust, Seven Dust, not Sundust.
Oh, Sepultura. They're coming back.
That was the one I saw.
I thought they were retiring.
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
It's almost like, gosh, we've had this conversation so many times, then we saw them in London. Slayer retiring. Yeah. And I'm like, they're not going to retire. They're going to play or keep going and keep going and keep going.
I did see Sepultura on there. I was like, I thought the same thing. Yeah. But
and even, sorry, I keep going back to the London thing, but even with Slayer, they said they weren't touring, but they have a tour show from last year that has like 7 dates on it. They're just not doing the whole like
big tours,
50 city tours.
We'll do a handful of one-offs. Yeah.
But even when we saw them in London, like I think they did 4 shows, like Wales, London, well, and then back to the beginning, so Birmingham, and then one other show, like all back to back.
But then they're done for the year. So like a
little
mini
they came to the US
tour.
And did the
festivals. Yeah. I get what you're saying though.
But anyway, Sepultura, that's where I'm bringing in that is they said they were retiring. Whitechapel. Slaughter.
We're going to close this tab. This show is May 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th this year, as we said, in Daytona,
not
not
be
Dayton.
Hot.
Yes, it would.
Oh, they need to do that in like February.
Moving along, the next show that's been announced is Freaks on Parade is back yet again. This time, though,
the 7th rendition
there's so many of these fucking things. They've been doing it forever. But this one is Rob Zombie again with Marilyn Manson, The Who, and Orgy. I know all of those except for Orgy.
I feel like we've seen Orgy before.
Have we really?
Yeah.
This is a late summer tour kicking off in August on the 20th and going to September on the 20th. Another one of those probably amphitheater type shows where it's, it bouncing around. They're going to be in Tinley Park here. So like in Nobleville, Indiana, whatever the fuck it's called. Again, at one of those amphitheater type things.
Yeah.
So
yeah. These all look like amphitheaters. Yeah.
Probably going to miss this one, unfortunately. But whatever. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. All Shall Perish also has a couple of shows coming up to celebrate the 20th anniversary of The Price of Existence with Bleeding Through, I Declare War, and the Tony Danza Tap Dance Extravaganza. Don't know that last band, but that fucking name is fan-fucking-tastic. I love that name. Like I said, it's just a mini little show to help support this particular album. They're playing it in full, I believe, but it's all in Texas at Austin, Corpus Christi, and then Dallas. So just 3 small little shows, but that would be a lot of fun to see if you're able to make it.
Yeah, and I think that I saw an ad for that Corpus Christi show, so I think it's like a 2-day festival they're calling at that House of Rock. So, but yeah, I did see it. These bands were there. But yeah, the next day, I can't remember who the headliner was. For the
I did not
day,
notice that. Okay, yeah.
It's like a little 2-day show thing.
Huh. Probably aren't going to make those work, but that'd be fun.
We can't because we have other shows that we want to go to. But
yeah. Next, we have Vicious Rumors with Ambush and Paradise. I think that's correct. Don't know this band, but again, saw it. It's a pretty large tour starting on February 25th in Orlando, Florida, and ending in September 18th in Madison, Wisconsin. So a handful of dates all over the place.
Yeah, so it's March dates, and then there's only 2 in September. Yeah.
Into February all the way to March, and then a couple in September. Yeah. So there might be a few in the middle there. But again, they're going to be at Reggies, so maybe you can possibly make that one work.
Yeah,
Don't know who they are, but it'd be fun.
Yeah.
After that, we have Sammy Hagar with Rick Springfield on most of the dates. He's on all but like 2 dates, I think. And it's honestly a small tour as well. Just a handful of dates in June, starting in St. Louis, going to Noblesville, Illinois, and then a handful of dates after that. But yeah, just threw it up there. I don't really want to see Sammy Hagar, but I know he was in Van Halen and all that shit.
Yeah.
He can't drive 55 and all that fun shit. So I'm okay not seeing that.
I
But
don't know,
it
some of
was
these
announced.
Older people, I'm just like, eh.
Yeah, no, same. I was never a big Sammy Hagar fan anyway, but I know people do like him, so I threw that up there. And the final one, I wanted to save this for last because this is the big one for me, is Rockfest 2026 has their lineup. We went a couple years ago. We went up there to see our friends in Thrash of the Titans play, and they are returning this year to play.
Yes,
this
opening
time
for Gojira.
Yes, last time they opened for Pantera. This time they're doing Gojira.
Yeah.
So,
and honestly, so they're playing on Thursday, July 16th. The whole set or the whole lineup is announced, but the bands on that day are really, really good.
yeah,
It would be a really fun day to
for sure.
to go and see them.
But your headliners for this are Gojira, Limp Bizkit, and The Offspring, with other bands such as Thrash of the Titans, Machine Head, Hatebreed.
The Hybrid Theory's back as
The
well.
Hybrid Theory's back.
Yeah.
Thrash of the Titans again. Hellstorm, The Pretty Reckless, Thrash of the Titans, El Nino,
Thrash of the Titans
Butcher
is gonna be there.
Vapors.
Basically, go and check out the
I love those
bands and see Thrash of the Titans.
I like the setup of this festival, bringing
Yeah.
the tribute bands
Yeah.
in there to go that.
I'm interested if they do it the same way, and we
Yeah.
could have reached out to them and asked. But when they played, 4 years ago now, it was they had 2 sets and they were an hour long each, or 3 sets and an hour long.
Yeah,
each.
3 sets. Yep.
So they played a lot on
They
that
did.
tribute stage, and I made a comment on our friend Jerry's post when he shared that they were playing, and I was like, and they have moshing this year.
I was going to say that too. They have moshing
Because-
this year, so Matt can get down there in the crowd and mosh
Yeah.
with them like he tried to do that first year.
and they got shut down. So, well, they got threatened to be shut down.
Yeah.
They didn't shut them down, but they threatened to shut them down.
But in any case, that's it. That's the final wrap-up
Yeah.
show we have. A lot
Still
of cool
a lot.
shows.
And you were worried that if we added last Tuesdays into last week's episode, we'd have nothing.
But in any case, there it is. Our main topic, Kayo Dot, was an interesting show. The Metals Care Market was a blast.
Yeah.
Great cause, great fucking people, great community they have out there. Super awesome to see. And like I said, a bunch of new shows coming out, new music that's out and coming out. So there's a lot of good things out there. So get out there, check out some live music, and we'll see you at the next show.
Bye.